Hello and welcome to So You Think You Can Fanon. Please check the link tree in the description and see all of our beautiful, lovely, salacious links to listen to more. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to So You Think You Can Fanon. I'm your host, Sergio, and I'm here with Jake, Kai, Matt, and somebody special. Special guest, will you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Lazy Bedhead, and I make stupid things on the internet sometimes. Not recently, though, because I've been in the big sad. But I will be back soon, I promise. Also, give me your money. So I can out of the
everybody clap! Everybody clap! Everybody clap!
Shit, I'm peeking like garbage.
It's okay. That's fine. That's normal. That's normal.
I'll fix it in post.
Sergio can fix it in post. Yeah.
Imagining having to fix things in post.
That's not what peeking on Zencastr looks like. Trust me.
Okay.
If you get closer to his microphone, you'll see what happens when it peaks on Zencastr. It's like a solid rectangle of audio.
Dude, anytime I try to record anything like before I actually ended up like when I would record videos, I would record it all within the video setting. Like, I would not record my audio separate, which is a mistake. It was such a mistake. Because then anytime the audio, after I get done editing everything, if the audio ever screws up during editing, I can't fix it because I don't record the audio separate. And now I am. You're learning. I'm learning.
You want to know something crazy?
What?
I think you may be the largest following that's ever been on this podcast.
Seriously?
I'm pretty sure.
How? Don't you have like big fucking? Don't you have like huge like SCP authors on here?
Yeah, but SCP authors don't generally have super big followings outside of SCP.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, unless if they like try to develop like a mainstream, I guess I couldn't call it mainstream, like any like of the big main social media platforms, right? Unless if they try to like develop a following there outside of I guess SCP, they wouldn't get that big a thing. But I decided to just be normal and start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, like DJ Cactus, the biggest SCP author of all time, only has 5,000 Twitter followers.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, he has more Twitter followers than I do, so I mean,
yeah,
that
but they
makes
don't
him feel any better.
They don't have YouTube channels that have a lot, like as many subscribers as you. Which I've never told this on the podcast. Hold on, let me check. Creative People. They have a Simply Creative People YouTube channel, right? Yeah,
they do.
It's only 200 subscribers, so yeah.
Oh.
Case in point. I didn't realize how many subscribers you had on YouTube because I think Alex undersold how big your channel was, like in the sense of like, yeah, definitely. Because Alex was, I remember Alex telling me like a few thousand, like 3,000 and not 30,000, which is a significantly bigger number than 3,000.
Yeah, I don't think that's a few. Like,
I think there's about a couple tens there, you know? Like, there's a few zeros that fall out.
I remember I think I saw you tweet about hitting 30K, and I was like, wait, 30? I was like, how many subs did she get since I last talked to her?
It's at 31 now, if that makes you... that makes
you I think that's congrats.
Thank you. I try to humble myself really with that stuff because, to be fair, I've been doing YouTube since I was 16. So, like, it took, do math, like...
7.
Thanks.
We're the same age, so 7.
And I don't do the math. I just kind of pretend. 7 years to get to 30K, which, I mean, it's still impressive. But to be fair, though, the only reason I'm at 30K now is because I didn't go headfirst into, like, making this, like, a frequent career thing until a year ago. Like, a year ago, I was at 10K, and that was over a span of 5 years, which was 5 years of me going on and off and, like, changing my style and rebranding everything. So, like, a lot of what you see now on the channel is stuff that is, like, after the rebrand that was, like, from when I was 18 years old when I rebranded. Yeah. So, after my rebrand, it took some 5 years to get to 10K, and then I quit, and I moved out. And then once we moved into this place, it wasn't the place before this one, Alex is like, well, why don't you just do this thing for real? Like, why don't you actually just go at it and see how far you can go? And I'm like, My problem is that I have a huge like priority issue where I can't prioritize multiple things at once. So I can't have like this sounds pathetic, but I can't have like a regular job and do YouTube, because otherwise I would just dedicate all of my energy and time to the job that I hate instead of doing the thing that I love. So that's why he works while I do this. And I mean, to be fair, it's challenging, but like it's been rewarding so far. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know,
I mean, in a year you've hit 30K. I feel like if that wasn't working, I'm afraid to see what would happen if it started working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm seeing it starting to work, and it's kind of freaking me the fuck out. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
I mean, it's not that I didn't want this to happen, obviously. I think anybody that starts a YouTube channel and really wants to go at it as a career wants this to happen. But once it does happen, people don't really know what to do with themselves. They're like,
your little
how do I get sponsored?
Yeah. Well, I think part of it also is that, I don't know if you remember the first time we met. Do you remember Sergio's 20th birthday party?
Yeah, that's the first time we met, actually. I was going to say the first time we met was like some other time, but now that I think about it,
I think it would have been the con if not for that birthday party, at least for me.
It would have been either the con or the time that you guys came over to our apartment.
Yeah, which was like I lumped that into the con because it was right before the con.
It was right before the con, you're right.
But yeah, like I remember, I think it was even before you, and I don't know if I can name drop your significant other.
Well, no, Alex is on the channel, so.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then yeah, and then you and Alex, I think you weren't dating yet. I don't think.
Nah, we were in denial, but you know, we weren't dating.
You guys were like close, and I think Alex mentioned you had a YouTube channel. I think that was just like in my head. I was like, oh, she does YouTube thing. I don't know how many subscriber, so it always filtered into my brain as like, ooh, hobby. So I think that's part of the reason you said when I heard 30K, I was like, what?
Well, that's and I have to emphasize again, that's just because I started going hard at it like a year ago. And a lot of back when he was telling people I had a YouTube channel when we first started hanging out, I told him that as like a fun fact. Like, yeah, I did YouTube. And it's like, considering that he's always wanted to do streaming and stuff on the internet, he thought that was the coolest shit ever. So
that's very on brand for Alex.
It really is. He has all of this footage of gameplay stuff that he's like, if you could edit this for me, that'd be great, because I edit on my phone and it's just convenient. But like, I haven't gotten to it because it's already hard enough, because I have this whole other thing that I'm doing with my friend Morgan where I'm editing a podcast, but then I'm going to edit that podcast into a video format.
Is this the Morgan that I know?
I don't think
no name doxing, but is it Sergio? Is this the same
we went to school with?
The one we went to school with.
Yeah, then yes, I have met Morgan.
Yeah, no, she was at Sergio's 20th. I think.
Yeah. She was. She ate a lot of Little Caesars pizza. I remember that.
Is that all you remember?
Yeah, Morgan.
I mean, she was very quiet and she was eating a lot of pizza. I don't know how else to describe her.
There was a joke for a while that Morgan was just like a black hole for food, in the nicest way possible.
She ate like 2 whole Little Caesars pizza. I couldn't even do that. I was like, that's impressive.
She's little, you know. She's like Alex, except for
especially with her body frame. She's very like short and very like slim.
Well, yeah,
and she just like destroyed
shortness. Most of it's just shortness.Alex is just Morgan, but just stretched out. You know, they're both.
Yeah, but Alex doesn't eat. Alex doesn't eat.
That's true. He needs to eat more.
I've been saying this for years. Which reminds me, I want to bring up how funny, how like small world this kind of is, because if you remember with Colossal Con. And the episode that this name is the incident that this episode is named after. Give a shout out to Greg for being a fan of you.
Greg. Yeah. That was the weirdest shit, dude.
For being a fan of us, and also you unrelated, and the fact that you and Sergio and Kai and Equinox Doodles all went to high school together, maybe more than high school. I don't know if you went to middle school.
We went to middle school together too. Like elementary was middle school, and then everybody transferred from elementary to fucking that.
Sergio, do we need to censor that?
We might need to.
Please censor that.
Please censor that. We'll censor Sergio that. From the future.
Yeah. Okay, Sergio's good with that. You know what? You can pick out the censor noise too if you want to.
Future Sergio. This is a warning.
Sydney, if you have a censor noise you want, you can pick it out and we'll make Sergio use it.
I'll send you I'll just send you, what was that noise clip from that meme, and it's just a dude saying pussy real fast. Pussy.
Pussy. Yeah, we did
Pussy Elementary.
My favorite censor noise that we did on the podcast is I said the phrase, I implied that a large portion of people should end their lives. And people on the podcast were not comfortable with that. And I was like, I respect that, but I'm also going to be petty. So I sent Sergio, I was at work. I downloaded an MP3 recording app on my phone. I was in my car in the Wendy's drive-thru getting lunch. And I sent Sergio an audio clip of me on really shitty phone quality going, eat some ice cream. So it was like, if you're listening, you should. And then it just cuts to way worse audio of me going, eat some ice cream.
No, my favorite is where we decided that we didn't want a certain fact about Kai being known, so I replaced it all with Vine booms.
Oh, yeah, that too.
So it was just like Kai, you were still Vine Boom while you were at Sergio's house, and then Kai was like, yeah, I was still in the process of Vine Boom.
That's so funny.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was funny as fuck.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, I just think the universal just the fact that it all came down to just like this one dude being like the Venn diagram in the middle.
This is the podcast universe. Funny. This is the fucking Avengers, but just the podcast
cinematic universe.
Yes.
It's like, some dude came up to us and said that he really liked our panels at the con, and we were really flattered. And then Alex just goes, oh, that was the guy that was a fan of Sydney. And I was like, what?
Do you not understand how weird I mean, I guess you guys know because you do podcasting, but do you not know how weird it is to hear your username on the internet shouted to you in your face by some random guy in public?
Well, I mean, even we don't get that often, honestly, because we don't have that.
Well, because you guys go by your real names on here.
Yeah.
Well, and you go by your regular names, but do you know how weird it is for someone to go up to me, point in my face, and go, Lazy Bedhead?
Well, because obviously our paneling name is So You Think You Can Fan It, so it's very normal to be at a con and hear somebody go oh, it's from blank panel, it's
the Fanon
boys, Fanon crew, whatever.
Yeah.
But I have been called out by my first name at cons from fans, and that's weird to me.
I will also say that we do have a friend that we met through the podcast named Sean, who I think you met. We went to go see Spider-Verse with him.
Yeah, he's the blonde guy, right?
Yeah. Sean, because my username online is Greg Chudley. Sean still calls me Greg sometimes.
That's so
and also
funny.
the fact
you
that
just
Sean
look like a Greg. I don't know.
Yeah. I think the name Greg is really funny, so I really don't mind. There's public discords I'm in where people just call me Greg or Chudley, and I just think that's really funny, so I'm like, yeah, I fuck with that.
For the most part, I don't know any bad Gregs, so you chose a pretty good name.
I mean, we know a really cool Greg, in fact.
There's only one Greg that I know is a bad Greg.
I don't even know that many.
Greg Heffley?
Nah, dude.
Well, yeah.
Greg Heffley's the GOAT.
Greg Heffley's my favorite terrible person.
Oh, yeah.
He is a terrible person.
Onision. I forgot that his real name is Greg.
His name is Greg?
His name is Gregory Jackson. That's his official name.
No, I thought his name is Gregory Chudley.
Didn't he change it?
Well, Sergio, I'm not Onision.
No, he did change it.
That's slander. That's slander.
He did change his name though, so he's no longer Greg anymore. He's something
Gregory
else.
James Daniel. It's his dead name.
His dead name.
I love dead naming Twitter. It's my favorite thing to do.
What is his real name now?
It's Gregory Jackson's his birth name, but he goes by James now or some shit.
No,
but
it's
doesn't
James
matter.
Jackson. Gregory James Daniel is his dead name.
Oh, well, whatever.
So now he's James Jackson. Okay.
I like how his Wikipedia page opens up with James Jackson is an online American YouTuber and alleged child predator.
Yay.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We have to put that for legal reasons so he doesn't sue us.
Allegedly.
Not that he would ever listen to this fucking podcast.
If he did, I'd be scared.
He sounds really petty, so I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. I would be surprised if he didn't name search and listen to podcasts that talk about him.
I mean, he does. He alleged. I guess I should say allegedly because it's not like this is like something confirmed, but like apparently, he does listen to a bunch of like videos about himself, about like.
Yeah, exactly.
The exposés or whatever.
Would he really listen to a podcast episode that mentions him for like
probably
a couple minutes?
Probably. You'd be
crazy.
Surprised.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's insane. So other than that, Greg, I think, other than that, Greg tainting the name Greg, I think Greg is a nice name.
No longer a Greg, so it's fine.
Yo, he's not a Greg anymore.
He's a James. That's
Which
on
is
James, that's so true!
Which is lame.
I hate Jameses.
James's.
My college roommate was a James, and we didn't like James.
See, there's always a good Greg, but there's always bad Jameses. No offense to anybody out there named Greg or James.
Yeah, if you're a fan named James and you're not a terrible person, I'm sorry.
Go eat ice cream.
And we love you.
And we love you. I love the guys that go eat ice cream.
And also give us money.
You also give us money.
Yes. Give all of us money. Thanks.
So,
are we all in our e-begging era now?
I'm always in my e-begging era.
Yes.
So how'd you get started with YouTube? Can we talk about this? I want to know.
Oh yes,
And also, what do you do on YouTube for
for
the people who don't know who you are?
Well, I kind of do a mixture of stuff. At first, this is the weirdest story I think I'm ever gonna tell. This version of how I tell my YouTube origin story is hilarious, right? Because I don't think I've ever told it in this specific context. So when I was 8 years old, I was on this website called YouTube.com. And I didn't go on there I didn't go on there super often because my parents at that point were still super like observant of like what we saw on the internet. By the time we got to like my other siblings though, they just completely gave up. But for their first few children, they had to heavily monitor the internet. So all I was allowed to watch was children's videos, and a lot of those children's videos back in the day consisted of my favorite thing when I was a kid, which was the Littlest Pet Shops. So when I was 8 or 9 years old, I had my mom make a YouTube channel under her name, which is probably not a good idea because now her legal name's attached to this. But she made a YouTube channel and said, if you want to make your little videos, because she knew I like to do that stuff on like my little iPad, like my little iPod Nano or whatever. Not Nano, this can't fucking capture video. But she's like, yeah, if you want to just post them, but you have to post them on private. And she allowed an 8-year-old to try to figure that out, and all of those are public videos. So that wasn't really a good. But I used to make Littlest Pet Shop videos when I was like 8 or 9 years old. I did that up until I was like 12. And then that channel got attached to a Google Plus account. And then when Google Plus shut down, and when everything got converted to YouTube channels have to be under a Google like Gmail thing, that particular YouTube channel with my mom's legal name on it was attached to a Yahoo account. And because everything was going through the conversion, that YouTube account never got converted, so it just shut down. So I can't find it anymore, thank God.
You know what's funny is I didn't do that until this year on my YouTube account that I've been using since I was 8.
Really? So
yeah, I just had the same Yahoo email on it for like a decade and a half, and it is an email that I haven't used in like 8 years that I keep the password of in case I need to log into YouTube.
That's crazy. Mine must have shut down because my mom must have deleted her old Yahoo because she switched everything. She switched everything to like work related emails. All of her emails are now just for work. She doesn't have her personal email for anything anymore. Which I feel like. I
mean, who needs them?
Well, I feel like it protects her from like spam too.
That's true. But also, like, if you what like personal emails were like even 10 years ago are it's just texting. Like,
yeah, that's true. So that was how I started out. But even then, when I was just using my little toys as a kid, making all the videos that I used to watch as a child, I really liked editing. I mean, I used Windows Movie Maker, like the really old Windows Movie Maker on the computer, on like my mom's laptop that ran like shit, but I liked it. And then once I got into like this current channel that I'm on, it's been through a lot of embarrassing changes. It started off a long time ago as a totally different persona where I did political commentary, and I need you people to understand, right? I was heavily indoctrinated as a child into Republican family members. So all I heard was that echo chamber bubble, and that's what my YouTube channel was anti-SJW bullshit.
Well, it was a style at the time, to be fair.
It was, yeah, and it got me 6K back then. So I was just like proud of that at first. But even then, I didn't really give a shit about politics. So I would mix in like doing like YouTube drama and stuff like that. But then again, at that point, I was just like, I'm not really interested in individual drama shit that happens on Twitter. I'm just interested in people and like just random things that interest me. So what my channel is now is just basically my hyperfixation of the week. Something I hyperfixate and then I make a giant video essay on that is about, my longest video I think is about 2 hours and 30 minutes long. So
impressive.
Yeah. I'm surprised that people sit for that long to listen to me talk.
Well, people talk about like videos, like being self-conscious about videos being too long or whatever. I just watched a 4.5-hour H Bomber Guy video. I will sit through anything if it's entertaining.
Dude, I just put it on in the background while I do other stuff. Like,
is it a good video?
I was gonna watch it. It was so. The first half of the video isn't even the main subject of the video. That's the crazy part.
That's how he does it.
It's like 2 hours of like various examples of plagiarism. Like he does a little bit on like the YouTube channel Illuminati and a little bit on like
she's a monster, dude. She's crazy.
He does a lot of plagiarism too. Yeah, and then a little bit on the Internet Historian.
Oh, that sucks. Oh
and
no,
stuff
I like him.
And then like in the middle of the video, he's like, "Yep, the video's over. You guys know what's about to happen. I don't know why I'm pretending." So we're going to go to the main subject of the video, which is the one that everyone's talking about because it's like the biggest one, obviously. But it's just a 2.5 hour, like just him sitting there and talking about that guy whose name I don't know.
I would just
because
like
I've never heard of him before. And now he no longer exists on the internet.
It's a government psyop. He's not a real human being. Everybody said, I can't believe that James Somerton would do this. And I'm like, glove fucking shit up. Who are you talking about?
I was like, who the fuck is that? Maybe it's because I'm not in like LGBTQ spaces actively because I'm not actively LGBTQ.
If it makes you feel better, I'm gay and I don't know who we're talking about.
Inactively?
Are you a sleeper agent for the LGBTQ superpowers? Jacob?
Yeah, it's like they like dangle a femboy on a chain in front of me, and it activates, and I run on a treadmill.
I've never heard anybody mention him or bring him up. He's never shown up in like my recommended or on the YouTube homepage.
But then so I just hear about this guy who's committed the most plagiarism of all time ever, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
The exact same thing as the longest piece of human fiction, of human writing ever in general, being a fucking Super Smash Brothers crossover fan fiction at like 8 million words or something.
It's just like this dude who makes LGBTQ like video essays, who not only plagiarizes everything he talks about, but then also just spreads incredible amounts of misinformation with his videos as well. Damn. And I'm like, who is this person?
Dude, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, we've all plagiarized a paper once thinking we can get away with it. And then we get in trouble.
I've never plagiarized anything in my life.
I'm talking about, okay, maybe not us specifically, but people, like, there's been a guy that tries it and then doesn't get away with it, whatever. And then he learns his lesson and it's like, whatever, okay, fine. But, like, if it's this continuous amount, that makes me mad. Because do you know how long it takes for me to script shit? It takes forever. And I have to write all of my own words with my own two hands.
The guy's co-writer tweeted out or like posted in their Discord before it got like deleted, and he was like, yeah, people kept accusing me of plagiarizing, but I don't read anything, so how would I plagiarize?
What do you mean?
And then people were like, what do you mean? And he was like, I don't do any research. I don't actively read ever.
Does he not know how to read?
It just means he's copy pasting. He doesn't even read what the words say. He just copy pastes apparently.
No, because it's the James guy that does all the stealing, but also all the misinformation in the scripts where they just like make things up and don't have sources. Maybe that guy is where that came from.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. How do you not read over? Do you know what I have to do every time I finish a paragraph in a script? I have to reread that entire script, like that one paragraph of the script that I wrote, to see if it makes any goddamn sense what I just wrote. Because I'm typing a whole bunch of scripts at 4 a.m. And then by the time I reread them when I get proper sleep, I look at them and I'm like, this doesn't make any goddamn sense. What was I typing about last night?
I know. I don't even write that much because all I really do when I write is like write for the podcast. So like for example, we do White Elephants every Christmas of like fan fictions to like submit, and then we decide on the best one. And sometimes like I try my best. I'm a like super grammar Nazi. I get so anal about grammar. Like Sergio can vouch because I critique the shit out of his SCP articles. Like I will be like, you need a comma here, you need a comma here, you need a comma here.
Dude,
capitalize this. Like I'm so bad with it. It drives me insane if I don't catch them.
Oh,
and if I'm writing,
then no.
Yeah, if I'm writing like trust me, I talk to Alex. It can't get worse. Alex doesn't fucking capitalize or punctuate anything.
Well, that's like typing on Discord.
I know, but it still annoys me. But like, if I write a fan fiction and we read it on the podcast, and I find a single like error, I sit there for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I'm going to kill myself. This is the end of my life. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I'm a fucking fraud. I'm going to kill myself.
Do we need to censor that with like a different?
No, it's fine. It's me. I can say that because I'm not going to do it. I'm not telling somebody to kill themselves, so I think it's fine.
You know what's funny is that on my channel, I have a bunch of jokes of me self-ending myself. And surprisingly enough, I've heard this from a friend of mine who does YouTube. If you make enough of those, eventually YouTube will send a personal email to you asking if you need to get help. And then they'll put little warnings on the videos where you make those jokes. If you're feeling suicidal, please call the hotline. And I understand why they do that. I'm not totally against that or anything. I'm just thinking that's really funny that they have to check in on you to make sure. And surprisingly enough, I make enough of those, but nobody ever checks it on me.
That means they don't care. They don't. That just told me YouTube doesn't listen to women.
They really don't. Well, I can't say that they don't listen to, because anytime I've ever had an issue, for me anyways, anytime I've ever had an issue with YouTube, if it comes to either another YouTuber or like an issue with like their terms of service, I usually get somebody that listens to me okay. But that's if I go through the action. That's only if I don't fucking at them on Twitter. If I don't at them on Twitter, like if I at them on Twitter, of course I'm not going to listen. It's all automatic bot responses on Twitter. And that's just a given. But like if I go through like the actual channels and I talk to a YouTube rep, then yeah, they're going to listen to me then because it's a one-on-one conversation with somebody that works up in the big dogs, you know. And I've only had to do that once or twice. No, twice. I've only had to do that twice. And the second time I had to get a YouTube rep from somebody else because they had a bigger channel than me. So I'm like, well, can you contact them for me so that they'll actually listen to me because you have a big channel and they'll probably listen to you than they will with me. And it worked. And it's really funny.
I think one of the moments where I realized like this is the most insane thing that I've ever looked at in regards to somebody that like I know in real life is me checking your Twitter and Sergio being like, did you know she's mutuals with Wendigoon? And I was like,
really?
What?
Okay, to be
Don't
fair,
forget Justin Wang also follows Sydney.
Yes, and Justin Wang.
Ain't no fuck. I didn't know this. Wait a minute.
Hold on. He did at some point.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Yes, followed by followers Justin Wang and Wendigoon.
He does follow me. That's fucking crazy.
Sergio, Greg, our Twitter, and Sam Kenneth.
Sam follow? Oh wow, really? That's so nice.
I know.
No, okay, to be fair, the only reason that Wendigo knows about me is that I had to ask him some questions on Twitter. And it was related to something else that I won't talk about on the podcast because it's fucking drama bullshit. But when I texted him out of the blue, I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna fucking work, but let me ask him this question related to this fucking drama thing. And he got back to me and he said, "Hey, I was actually gonna text you. I saw that video you made on me and it made me cry. So I wanted to say good job." I almost died. At that moment, I was like, I can ascend to the next fucking level. I'm fine. I don't have to go any further than here.
I DM'd Wendigoon one time on the podcast Twitter. I was like, would you come on our podcast? And I never got a response. It was like 2 years ago.
Wendigoon, this is your call. Come on.
I'm wearing your merch right now, Wendigoon. Come on my fucking podcast, please.
Did you get the hoodie or did you get the
I got both. I got both.
I want the fucking...
You know why? Because I am an adult with a job.
I don't have a job. I mean, I guess I do have a job.
You have a job.
I want the button up, the Hawaiian shirt so bad.
Yeah, it's a little tight.
I didn't have the money.
Go a size above what you would order because it's a little tight on my shoulders.
I think it's all gone now, though. It's over.
Oh, it might be. It might be.
I'm so
That's a
bad.
bummer.
I'll check.
Yeah, I got it. I got it in an XL, which I usually wear L or large is because I just wanted to be safe. And it's even then, it's still a little tight on my shoulders. So
yeah, Wendigoon was getting canceled on Twitter though, which was
saw that.
That was so weird. I felt bad.
What happened?
Because people were calling him alt-right and a Nazi for some reason because he.
It's because of the stuff with It's because of the stuff with Internet Historian getting canceled, and they've collaborated before.
Who gives?
And so
he's
people
collaborated with worse people, and he's still a good person. Like
who? Internet Historian or Wendigoon?
Wendigoon has collaborated with some sketchy fucking people, but he's a good person. He just stays away from those people. That's the thing, is that Wendigoon doesn't really go on Twitter or on Discord, because he told me this. He's like, I don't really respond to Discord or Twitter, so if people are saying that I ghosted them, I'm just really not that I don't reply that much.
Yeah, I do think it's funny that all he does is tweet about like his wife. He's like, I look at my wife.
I know! It's so cute!
People are so mad about him online, and he's just like, I'm at Waffle House, check this shit out.
I'm at Waffle House with my wife.
With my wife. Or he's like, my wife's not home, I'm going to Waffle House.
I want him as a joke to just it doesn't even matter what the tweet is, he's just got to end every single tweet with my wife.
My wife.
My wife. Oh no.
Hi guys, I'm bombing a federal building with my wife.
With my wife.
You can't tweet that. You can't tweet that. I know that. I know you can't tweet that.
What do you mean you know that?
Let's just say that my father was awoken one morning to a phone call from the FBI.
Greg Chudley is doing war crimes on Twitter.
Let's also just say that the FBI has confirmed that Jacob is funny.
Yeah, the agent thought it was a funny tweet, but he was like, I just had to make sure it wasn't a real threat. And I was like, it wasn't. He was like, cool. Don't do it again.
How does an FBI agent look at that and go,
I want to know who. I see way worse shit on Twitter than people threatening shit like that. People are like, I'm going to murder the president on Twitter, and they don't get called. Dude, but I threatened one federal building, and I'm the bad guy.
Dude, I've seen people. This is going to be very not safe for the podcast. I don't even know.
There's nothing that's not safe for this podcast unless it's a spoiler. You're fine.
Okay.
Or me telling people to kill themselves, I guess.
One of my friends got spammed with like CP on Twitter, and I was like,
I remember that.
They had to leave Twitter, and I felt so bad because I'm like, I had to check in on them to make sure that and they were fine. They were just like, I just didn't think someone would spam me with that shit. And I'm just like, yeah, people on Twitter are fucking degenerates. Like, even worse than I'd say, like, Reddit. And I know crazy shit happens on Reddit, but like, dude, the fucking shit that you can get away with on Twitter is ridiculous. Especially that shit. That shit pissed me off.
Was this within the last year?
It was this year.
Then yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you can't do that. I mean, we got that account like taken down because you can't fucking post that shit. Yeah. But the amount of people that have just posted random like gore clips or whatever on Twitter, and no matter how much you report them for like obscene material on Twitter, they won't take them down for whatever reason. And I'm like, yeah,
you see like a Twitter that's like Cunny Crusher 1488 post a fucking tweet that's like, we should we should murder all minorities, and it gets like 17,000 likes, and then you report the tweet, and Twitter is like, yeah, we don't see anything wrong with it.
Oh, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. I hate it. Dude, I had to report people, like a couple of people, for harassment and stuff against me because they were spamming my account with just random shit, and I would report it, and Twitter was just like, nah, I don't see an issue. This isn't hateful at all. And I'm like, they're spamming me. They won't leave me alone.
But if you
it's
say,
just best to mute and block them.
If
That's
you say cisgender, if you call someone cisgender, fucking instantaneous ban.
Is that really happening, though?
Yes, that is happening.
It's real? Oh my
Elon Musk gets so offended by the term cisgender. He went on a whole fucking Twitter rant about it.
Well, guess what, elongated muskrat? You are cis.
if I tell Elon Musk to eat some ice cream.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a good thing we haven't said that yet. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't say that. Yeah.
What do you mean to go eat some ice cream?
Yeah, Elon Musk should go eat some ice cream.
In Minecraft.
Maybe with his children that hate him.
All of his kids hate him. That's so funny.
Not the babies. They're probably
obviously not the babies.
Because probably ambivalent.
But, it's the older kids. I look at that and I'm like, relatable.
I just think it's so, crazy. Just being Alex, I don't mean to be like Alex's girlfriend because, I listen to women. I respect women. Women are their own people. And I respect the shit out of that because I love women.
If I have a YouTube channel that makes this much money, I am my own woman at this point.
But I just for the longest time, it's been like, oh yeah, Alex's girlfriend does YouTube,
right?
And then then one day, 30,000 subscribers, and I was like, that's not doing YouTube. That's being a YouTuber.
Well, I mean, I guess you could say it is once you go past technically the threshold to make money off of YouTube is 1K, right? Or at least having consecutively making 3,000 on your YouTube. Let's say that you only have 500 subs, but you consecutively make over 3,000 video views on all of your videos, then you can apply for the partnership program at that point.
Yeah.
But if you have over 1,000 subscribers, you can apply. Most of the time, there's not been an issue with rejects, unless, of course, the content you're making is super offensive or anything. But, I remember when I applied to the YouTube Partnership Program, I applied when I was, 18, 19. I didn't actually start making money on my YouTube videos until, 3 years ago, And now it's consistent enough where I can say I at least... Because once you enter into the YouTube Partnership Program, you have to make, a certain threshold before you can pull out of your money once a month. And I'm getting to a point where I'm meeting that threshold every single month without actually having to do anything. Because my videos will go on trending, and then they'll watch my other content, and that content is monetized. And
you'll hit that algorithm.
I mean, surprisingly, I've been able to work it pretty well. I know it's been super strict in the past because of adpocalypse stuff, but I haven't really had much of an issue, unless if it's something super obvious. If I'm talking about something really, really dark and heavy and it gets, partially demonetized, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I totally understand that. But, if I'm talking about something in the context of this is just a short story, it's not real, or if I'm talking about a video game, then they're like, that's fine, it's totally monetizable, it's whatever. And I'm like, oh, cool. Are you sure? Because this video game is pretty dark. It has, dark subject matter. They're like, well, it's a video game. It's not real. So I'm
if it's Mortal Kombat, we're gonna fucking hit you with your own car.
Well,
you show one drop of red on that fucking YouTube video, and you will die a painful death.
I'm trying to check to see if that video's old. That video might not be monetized. It is? Oh shit, my Mortal Kombat video is monetized.
How much gameplay is in it?
It's more of a storyline overview than it is a gameplay overview, because I'm the type of gamer that doesn't like playing the game. I like story.
I hate the Mortal Kombat storyline. It makes me so angry.
I do too. I'm so pissed.
But if you have Mortal Kombat gameplay in a video, it just will get demonetized no matter what.
Mine's not, surprisingly enough.
There's so much blood.
Every Mortal Kombat video I see has changed the blood color.
Yeah, it's mostly MK11 and now I guess MK1, but no one talks about MK1, so whatever.
Yeah, I've noticed that. No one really talks about it. Why is that?
It's because this game came out called Street Fighter 6.
Oh, of course. And we have Tekken 8 to look forward to next year.
Tekken 8.
Which I can't play because I don't have a PlayStation 5. So I'm just going to be out of the loop forever.
Get owned.
I'm sad about it. I've been playing those games ever since I was a child. I have every single one.
I've never played a Tekken game in my life.
They're so
I
much
I played
fun.
Tekken in Yakuza, ? Or no, that was Virtua Fighter, called False Alarm.
Could you imagine going into Yakuza and you just go into
fucking... on Tekken.
Well, I believe, what was it? It was the 25th anniversary of Tekken 5. There was a 25th anniversary release where it had all of the Tekken games, 1, 2, and 3, I believe, that was in the game, where you can also play those as like bonus features on top of everything else you could do in Tekken 5, because you could play that game for hours. But on top of that, they had that, and then I believe before you even get into the very start screen of Tekken 5, you can play some sort of, it's some sort of space shooter game that Namco made back in the 80s that they implemented.
It's probably Galaga.
It probably was. I don't remember.
Galaga or Space Invaders or some shit.
I think it was, I want to say it was Galaga, but I don't really remember. I'll search it up later. But yeah, Tekken 5 was the one game that I had where I can say I officially had every single Tekken game, because before I only had like 5, 6, Tag Tournament 2, and 7. And then
I just think about Tekken 7 a lot because of the fucking DLC characters. That's insane.
I don't know what they're gonna do with Tekken 8 though. I don't know if they'll do anything.
They can't top Negan. I don't care. I don't care if they add fucking John F. Kennedy. They're not topping.
The thing is that Negan actually worked okay though. They had all the other DLC they had to put in. They had to nerf so much, because when you fucking see any of the tournament footage from like once the DLCs came out, everyone switched their characters over to the new one, Leroy Smith, because he was buffed as fuck, and they had to nerf it after that tournament because they're like, oh, okay, nobody can beat this character.
I heard Akuma was really good.
He was good to play in story mode. He was a bitch. Fuck that. That was such a pain in the ass, because he did not perform the same way any normal Tekken character would, which makes sense because it's a Street Fighter character. Also, his implementation into the storyline makes no fucking sense, but it doesn't matter because this is a game about fighting bears.
The fact that Tekken 7 has Negan, Noctis from Final Fantasy, and Akuma as guest characters, like, I don't care.
Akuma's not even a guest character. Akuma is part of the official Tekken canon.
But he's a guest character in the sense that he's from another franchise, though. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I get that, but like, it's just so funny. I'm like, this is the timeline I live in.
Like, they could. I don't care who they add into the next fucking Mortal Kombat 1 like DLC pack. Like, there's no guest character that could ever top that trio of characters. That's insane.
Who the fuck is going to be in the guest list for fucking Mortal Kombat 1 anyway?
We have Omni-Man, Peacemaker.
I already don't care. You name 2 characters, I don't give a shit.
Homelander.
The leak said that we're probably getting Ghostface from Scream.
Why? I don't understand these choices.
Because Ed Boon picks all the DLC characters. And that's why that's why like Mortal Kombat 11 had all like the 80s action heroes, because fucking.
I mean, I guess I can sort of understand that, but like fucking Ghostface, why?
Yeah,
because Scream is big right now.
Since when?
Those movies make $1 billion, like fucking millions of dollars.
Scream $1 million. Yeah.
$3 million. Okay, then put fucking Billy the puppet from Saw in
we're getting one of the leaks said T-1000.
That's really funny. That's so funny. Dude,
that's the reason that Megan Fox is in Mortal Kombat 1.
I forgot about that.
Ed Boon was like, we should get Megan Fox.
Dude, I forgot about that. She was so bad.
It's so epic.
I've seen some of her voice clips for First of all, can we just talk about how funny it is that she's in a game where she's voicing, historically, in terms of Mortal Kombat lore, the least liked character ever up until now? Everyone fucking hated Natira until
Cobra
she...
exists.
Okay, nobody talks about Cobra. Nobody.
I love Cobra. How dare you say that? What the fuck?
You don't give a shit.
It's like, I love Cobra because it's like, what if I wanted Ken from Street Fighter, but worse in every way?
No, but it's so funny because it's like, let's get Megan Fox to literally voice historically one of the most hated Mortal Kombat characters that people only now started liking because she was in the live action movie that sucked. That's why. You can't tell me that's not why.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. The world
it.
is... I love the current market of today's gaming world. I just hate that everything's so goddamn expensive. We really do. An expensive, overcapitalized society.
I know we had an episode topic for this, but I think we just throw it out at this point. We are 40 minutes into this recording.
Fuck
it. We have not started.
We're doing it live.
This just means that we have to bring you back for another episode to do the actual episode.
Let's go.
Which means we can force you to come back.
Oh my god, they can hold me at gunpoint against my will.
I feel like we have a pretty good track record of getting people to come back to the podcast.
I mean, I wouldn't be totally against it. I mean, you guys already basically know me in real life anyway.
Uh-huh.
Plus, it's like, big audience poll, duh.
True. Yeah, we can exploit you for views. It's awesome.
Let's beat the horse. Let's get more money out of this fucking...
This rocks. I knew I kept Alex around for this long for something.
That's awful. It's horrible.
He's so mean. You don't understand. He treats me like a discarded Victorian whore.
You cannot call yourself a disgruntled Victorian whore.
I'm like Alex.
Not Alex. Disgruntled, discarded like a Victorian whore.
I'm like Alex. Alex, we should play a game. Let's play together. And he's like, fuck you. Suck my dick, pussy. Shut the fuck up. And I'm like, okay, Alex. Maybe tomorrow then.
I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck his deal is.
He's so mean to me. You don't understand. You're not there. You'll see it.
I do see it because I see that he doesn't play with you guys as much as he used to.
Me.
Dude, I blame Discord.
It's because he worked 7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
Well, he used to. He doesn't now.
Well, yeah, now. But before, like, we would never get him to play games because he'd be like, oh, I just got off work. I'm going to bed at 7 p.m. to wake up at 3 in the morning.
Oh, that was with his other job. No, that job sucked. That job, I swear, I was, I don't know if this is, no, I'll talk about it. Well, with that job, it was basically sort of not the same thing he was doing before, but like he was doing factory work and he was wearing the same like boots that he wore at his other job. Because he used to just do a bunch of factory work before this. Yeah. And this job advertised itself as like a line job, like being on an actual assembly line. And it still was. It was just more tedious, like faster pace and also vigorous than it needed to be for what they were building. So he ended up quitting after a couple days. And then after he picked up just going back to his old job or whatever he was doing, I noticed that like he injured one of his toes. It looked like he like bruised it. And I'm like, maybe it was from those boots or whatever. And I was like, well, it's probably just bruised. I don't think it's bruised anymore. It looks like it fucking hurts. It's like black and red. And I'm like, dude,
he does hobble everywhere. So you should probably get that checked out.
Well, no, he says he can still feel it and it doesn't hurt. But I'm just hoping that if anything, if it like grows out and it disappears as it grows out, then that means he doesn't need to get it drained, which is fine. But if that doesn't happen, then I'm like, dude, you're gonna lose your fucking toe because that looks like that fucking hurts.
He's got the gout toe. He's got the terminal gout toe.
Not the gout toe. He's got the fuck. He probably injured his toe at that job that he was doing because he was working himself to death. And I'm just like, you need to calm down.
His job that made him work 7 days, 12 hours, like the The factory, not the one that he quit after a few days, but the one before that.
Yeah, no, he liked that one, though.
But it was a terrible job.
Well, yeah, no, working 7 days a week sucks. But, I mean, it paid the bills pretty good.
Yeah, so. He would. There would be days where he'd come home and he'd be like, I hate my job so much. And I'd be like, Alex, you should quit and find a new job. And he'd be like, I don't need you to talk to me like that right now. And I'd be like, all right, hands off. I get it.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, because he told me like, he got that new factory job that he's not at, and then of course, in typical Alex fashion, he goes, "Yeah, I got my new job, and my hands are completely swollen, and I can't feel anything." And I was like, "Have you considered not getting a factory job?" And then he was like, "Well, Sergio, don't you know what it feels like to have to get a loan to pay for your rent so you can still have a house?" And I'm like, "Well, you will have many houses, but you only get one set of hands. So I'm just asking you, please, if you would like to continue doing all the things that you like to do, don't destroy your hands forever."
No, I know. I have to balance it because like it's him working the real world while I'm working this YouTube shit, and I feel bad because anytime because this is what I do all day. I just sit in my couch on my phone, editing on my iPhone, posting shit on the internet, and that's most of my day. And he comes home after working so long, and he's a wreck. And I'm just like, are you sure you don't want me to just get a real job? Or whatever.
See, we just need to get you to the point where you can turn Alex into a stay-at-home wife.
My wife. And then I can post about my wife on Twitter.
Yeah, dude, full circle. You can be like, Wendigoon, I got my own wife. It rocks. Look at him.
I love him so much. I mean, that would be really nice because by then he can even focus on doing his own content creation if he wants to. And or either that, or just, like, try to figure out his own career. Like, once this pays off well enough, then he can work in, I don't know, getting, like, an apprenticeship into a real career, or doing online shit, whichever one he wants to do.
Yeah.
But I understand doing apprenticeship stuff, you don't get paid to do that most of the time. So, like, if he takes that
plunge... It depends on the place. There's some apprenticeships that if you reach out...
apprentice, you'll get dosh.
I don't think Alex wants to be a plumber's apprentice, to be fair.
He talked about being an electrician, because, like, most of his family
any
was
of the trades
apprenticeships,
they will fucking pay you to do it because they're drowning in incompetent morons. They're so you don't understand. There's so many.
And if there's anything that Alex is good at, it's having people tell him to do something and him doing it ad nauseum 7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
I thought you were gonna say that he was good at being what did you say, an airheaded moron?
He's not stupid.
I don't think I've ever used those words. To describe Alex. I love Alex. I love Alex. He's so mean to me. He's so mean to me, but I love him.
It was Jacob's idea to make Alex a wife. Is there something you'd like to tell us?
Yeah. No, it's not like that. It's like just like for Sydney's sake, she can have like a stay-at-home wife to like do the chores for her while she brings home the bread.
I mean, I could try doing that, but that would require me having to like figure out how to get my own health insurance because it's not like YouTube provides health insurance. And
then he gets into a scandalous relationship with a milkman, and you're none the wiser.
And then I end up on Drama Alert, and then I cry on camera and spell how I don't want to lose my kid.
Next time I show up to your apartment, I'm coming in a milkman outfit. I'm like, yo, what's up?
Welcome, Drama Alert Nation. Sydney has lost her wife.
Sydney's lost her wife to the milkman.
Not my wife. No.
Oh, no.
Not my wife.
That is so sad.
My wife. No.
My wife.
Honestly, fuck Sacha Baron Cohen. I want to be the new Borat.
Oh yeah, I want to be Borat 3.
You know what I'll do?
Movie.
Because fucking Sacha Baron Cohen's like 6'4". He's fucking ridiculously tall. I'll just sit on top of Alex's shoulders the whole time. Put on the
you
suit.
Guys combined is like 6'1".
We are a unit well, he would have to sit on my shoulders, I think.
Yeah, we give him the mustache and the fro, and he sits on your shoulders, and he just starts going, "My wife." I don't think he can do the accent. I don't think he can do the accent, to be honest.
I think he can. He's good at accents and stuff. He's good at getting into character.
I just imagine him. I know. I played D&D with him.
I miss doing D&D, actually. I do miss it, but I was really bad at it.
He's on my shit list. I don't actually love Alex. He's on my shit list.
Damn.
we were gonna do. I was running a tabletop game of Cyberpunk, and it was like the day of. And then Alex was like, "Oh, I got a new job, and I have to adjust to my new job schedule. We'll have to delay this."
Oh, come on.
It's a completely reasonable thing, but I'm really petty.
That's why Jacob is mad about it. Is because it's a completely reasonable thing that he can't possibly alter.
Darn it, he has a good excuse.
I don't feel like it. I would have been like mad, but that sounds like something I would do.
Yeah.
But I never make excuses. I'm real.
Well, you have to understand he's the thing that's really pumping this thing going. If he didn't really have a job and hold down everything.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. No, but Alex deserves a lot of credit.
Are you insinuating that Sydney isn't the breadwinner?
Yeah, what the hell's your problem? We here at So You Think You Can Fan, and we listen to women, and we do everything we can to prop them up. And you are we're tarnishing our reputation.
I'm the first woman on this podcast.
That's not true.
Yeah,
that's not true.
Man.
We've had three.
Three
That's before. We had Sarah from The Gorge. We had Fanfic Maverick.
She wasn't on the podcast, though. We were on her podcast.
That's true. Then two. We had Nikki, and we had The Gorge.
And don't forget about
we've had a non-binary person on the podcast with emotional entropy, and also Fly, and also Michael's on the podcast. So I guess we don't get to brag about that.
That's true.
We don't. There hasn't been a woman on the podcast in a year, I believe.
Yeah, you're a girl boss dominating this male-centric space right here. Yeah. You blow us all out of the water combined with how popular you are, how much money you make. You know how much money we've made from Spotify? $78. I don't know.
We're not making any more money.
What are they going to do? Not pay me? They already aren't.
I know, but
they took away our monetization because we don't get a 1,000 audience size a month or whatever.
Oh, I did hear about that because my brother makes music and he got the same issue too. It's not like he was making it's not like he was making money anyway, but like I remember this is a really funny story actually. So my brother makes Shane, my other brother, makes music. Shane is on the radio though, which is kind of funny to me because it's That's crazy. I have two siblings that either do music related stuff. Only one's on classic radio and the other one's just does Spotify. So it's two different like sides of the coin that I get to witness on a daily basis. But so my brother who makes music, I've advertised his stuff on my YouTube channel before because he puts on shows. He, anytime he brings out new music, I'll usually use his music in my videos, and I always shout him out because I want him to be famous too. And out of all the fucking things that could have gotten my brother any attention was a fucking birthday song he made me when I turned 22, I think. He made me a custom birthday song. And I posted it on TikTok of all places, and it got over 1 million fucking views, and everyone was going to his TikTok and subscribing, and at that month alone, I think he had over 2,000 plays of people listening to his music, and he texted me, he sounded like he was like, because my brother also has ADHD, so like when his emotions, he's like very expressive with them just because he's also like doing other things at once. But he calls me and he's like, dude, did you post that on TikTok? And I'm like, well, yeah, did you not want me to? He's like, no, my fucking Spotify's blowing up like crazy. And I got so happy. Because I'm like, yeah, because you're actually talented. I just edit on an iPhone. I don't know that gives me any talent. Dude, if I had to convert over to actually doing like real editing on a computer that runs at a great fucking computer capacity, I don't know,
I'm sure you would at some point, right?
I will at some point. I will have to at some point if I want my content to be better, if I want to upload in 4K, if I want to like upload like 4K videos. Obviously my phone has enough space for it, but it's not going to be great performance-wise. Like once you render everything into the full clip that you're going to post to YouTube, it's gonna still obviously look like iPhone quality because the iPhone, even if you're rendering something at 4K, still compresses everything. You know what I mean? So like it's even if you're gonna render something at that,
maybe you should kick the non-breadwinner off this computer a little more so you can.
No.
Honey, it's 4 p.m. It's time for me to edit a 3.5-hour video essay until 5 in the morning. Get the fuck off your computer.
I can't do that. No, because I don't want to fuck with his baby, man. He's had this thing since we were together. So like, this is his main source of like winding down.
If you're not still together.
Well, not like, I mean, it's not that like.
I know. It's just the way you emphasize it. He said it since we were together. Like,
no,
that's
I mean,
a funny way to emphasize it.
I know.
As if you're not still living together.
No, I know. I mean, like, he had this thing even before we moved out, is what I meant. You know what I mean? Like, even before that, he was on his somebody else's computer before he got this one from one of his friends that helped him put it together. I could go back to that same friend to put together mine, but I don't have money. I mean, I do have money, but like, it's a monthly payment, so like you're not going to see that money until you actually get the payout. And what sucks is that you don't get to choose that date either. When you pull out money for the very, very first time, YouTube's just going to be like, all right, well, that's the date that's going to be forever your payout. And it's like, but what if I get to the first of the month and I have enough money to pull it out? Can I not just get it at the first of the month? Nope, it's got to be the date where you at the very first pull out. And I'm like, that's really dumb. Can I not change that? Because that just seems really inconvenient. Because, like, if I got it at the first of the month, that would make sense. And they're like, nope, it's got to be this specific date because that's the first time you made enough money to pull out of YouTube. So that's just your permanent date forever. And I'm like, that's frustrating. Why would you do that?
It's a good way to run a business, you know? Just give it to you whenever you want it. But if you want it at a bad time, sucks to suck because that's it forever.
I know. Dude, it sucks because my pullout date is right before Christmas, too. And I'm just like, I need that money, like, sooner than Christmas. Preferably, it would have been nice to have that money on Black Friday. Well, okay, I did have that money saved up for Black Friday because I got a whole bunch of new equipment, which I wasn't able to use for this podcast.
Yay!
Thanks, Zencaster.
Yeah, fuck you, Zencaster. We love you. Please promote our podcast.
But I was able to get a bunch of new stuff. I got a set of new microphones, so hopefully maybe I could start podcasting at some point. But I got XLR. They're dual, so it's like a USB and XLR performance. And that's nice because if they're XLRs, then you can record two mics at once. But if it's USB, you can only record from one output.
That's true.
And there's nothing wrong with USBs because I've been using USB mics forever, but you can't really, like, what do they call that? You can't really level a USB. Not really. You can only really do it on an XLR with a voice meter. I mean, you could probably do voice meter stuff, like, if you're on the computer, but I work just with a tablet and a phone most of the time. So, like, noise leveling is not really a thing in my videos, so people have been pointing that out forever, that my audio always sounds like shit. And I'm just like, I'm on an iPhone. I don't know what you fucking want me to do.
Yeah.
I can't really do a whole lot. I try, though. I like to think that my videos don't look like they're iPhone quality. That's like my flex. I'm just like, I'm on an iPhone, but I make it look like I edit on Adobe. Fuck you. Like,
I mean, going with like Wendigoon. Like Wendigoon did his videos on his iPhone for the longest time.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he also did it like completely from the iPhone though. Like he had no mic or anything. So all of his audio was picked up from his phone as well.
So you're already basically better.
You're already that much closer to having a wife.
You just gotta, yeah, exactly. You just gotta start. You gotta steal the iceberg trait from him.
Oh, dude!
You fucking roll up your next video. You're like, "Hello, everybody, and welcome back." We're gonna be looking at the. I don't know if
anyone has seen. See, this is what made me want to die when I heard that Wendigoon saw my video. Because in my video talking about Wendigoon, I dress up as Wendigoon. I did a Wendigoon cosplay.
Funny. That's so funny.
And when he said he saw my video, I wanted to kill myself.
Did you draw the beard? Did you draw the beard on?
Yes.
Important. Oh, that's so hard.
I will post the video pictures. Called? I can post it in the group chat, the link. It's called Windigoon, YouTube's greatest storyteller.
I just found it. I just controlled F.
I do the cosplay. And that's what made me kind of want to die.
The hair is perfect.
Hold on.
That's when my hair was long. My hair's about as long as his now. I could do it again, but I don't want to. I would literally die. I'm like, oh god. Dude, I do that shit a lot in my videos where, like, if I'm talking about a specific topic, I'll try to do a cosplay of the person I'm talking about, which I don't know if that's a good strategy now, because God forbid I, like, talk about someone and I'm exposing them for something really, really bad, and I decide to do a fucking cosplay of that person. They're like, you're cosplaying like a fucking pedophile or some shit. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's probably not the greatest probably not a great thing.
That would be really funny. That would be really funny. I'm dressing up as a pedophile to expose a pedophile. That'd be crazy.
I'm just reminded of what Onision looked like when he was in court that one time when he sent, like, he served the wrong Chris Hansen. Yeah, I found.
Oh, are you talking about the one with the beanie hat on and the fucking glasses? Why does he look like he's straight out of, like, some sort of mock-up of Men in Black movie? Like,
okay.
He looks like he doesn't know how to pull off being what do you call it? Short.
A pedophile? Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So I see this comment on the Wendigoon video where you talk about Gerard Way and 9/11. And how Gerard Way was influenced by 9/11, which is a fact that's been given on this podcast before. Can I tell you my other 9/11 fact?
Sure, let's shift the podcast, everyone, to talking about 9/11.
9/11 once a month.
So, do you know who Frank Miller is? The comic book author.
I believe I've heard that name.
He wrote The Dark Knight Returns. He wrote Batman Year One. A lot of the most
300.
Batman 300.
Yeah,
he wrote a lot of Daredevil stuff.
Oh, so I know him because he made Sin City. That's where I know that name from. So
he witnessed 9/11 from his studio because he was in New York and he worked for Marvel at the time, I think. He did comic book stuff. I don't know if he grew up in New York. I don't know the specifics. But he was in New York when 9/11 happened, and it permanently altered the trajectory of his life, where he became very, very racist towards Middle Eastern people.
I don't think you can be racist towards a Middle Eastern person when your nose is fucking crooked and your eyes are slanted slightly.
I don't know if that's allowed on the podcast, but we'll go with that.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
He's Irish. It's fine. He's Irish. It's not bad. No, so if you look at a picture of Frank Miller before 9/11 and after 9/11, it looks like he's aged 50 years in 20 years.
That is true. Like, I'm getting a mixture. Like, here's regular Frank Miller who looks sort of normal, and then there's old Frank Miller that looks like a supervillain.
You can tell the quality of his art and writing drastically goes way worse after 9/11.
He wrote he wanted to write a Batman comic where Batman, quote unquote, kicks Al Qaeda's ass. That was going to be called Holy Terror Batman, but DC didn't want to do it. So he went to something called Legendary Comics to make Frank Miller's Holy Terror.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the third Dark Knight Returns book, the sequel to everyone's favorite book, The Dark Knight Strikes Again. Which is one of the worst Batman comics of all time.
Everyone's favorite, the worst of all time.
It's really bad. It also coincidentally came out after 9/11.
9/11.
So I just think I like the fact that both Gerard Way, a comic book author, because Gerard Way also they write comic books. That's a thing they do.
That's true. Gerard Way, wasn't he the guy that made Penny Parker?
Yes, and also they did one of the big Doom Patrol runs that the show is based off of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just think they're both
Academy.
It's just like 9/11 kind of gave Gerard Way their comic book presence, and 9/11 took away Frank Miller's.
Well,
it's like an eye for an eye.
True. I mean, it's weird. The effects of 9/11. You know what was funny too is
that's such a brave thing to say. I'm so proud of you.
That's the equivalent
It's
to that
weird.
one fucking
The effects of 9/11.
That's like that one fucking Lois Griffin clip where she just goes up on a podium. 9/11. Yeah. I need to find this. Okay, so I was hanging out with Mitchell today. We were looking at memes, and
I love Mitchell.
Do you just love all of your friends?
I do. Is that so bad?
No, it's just.
I love my friends.
That's great. Okay, so we were looking through his recommended, and he was subscribed to the infographic show, and the first thing that gets recommended to us was a video that was posted a day ago on the infographic show, and it's 9/11, but it's like a sketch of Osama bin Laden, but his eyes are looking through the numbers 9/11, and it's the fucking weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. I shouldn't be laughing at it because I'm like, this is a serious topic, but at the same time, just seeing the eyes of Osama bin Laden through
that is a crazy visual to represent the most tragic incident in the history of this country.
Can you send a picture, please?
I'm trying to take a fucking screenshot, but you have to be patient with me. I have computer autism.
No, you're good. Take your time.
Alright, so I gotta do...
So there's infographics?
Yeah, infographic show. The infographic show, and it's literally the first thing that pops up.
I've never heard of this channel in my life.
Oh my god. Content channels. You probably saw their SCP videos before.
I have not. I actually don't watch a lot of SCP content, ironically. This is a crazy thumbnail. I'm posting it in Fanon HQ. This is crazy. It's not even a picture of him.
What is this?
9/11.
Why?
There's not even a slash. It's just 911.
There's the Twin Towers too. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I swear this is the last 9/11. This is the last 9/11 mention of this episode before we call it. Have you ever seen the 9/11 Marvel comic? Marvel wrote in all of Marvel's books. There was a memorial to 9/11 comic. At the end of all their books, it's to honor the first responders, and it has one of my favorite panels of all time. I'm posting it in general in Fanon HQ. Right. It is Dr. Doom, the Latvian dictator of Latveria, an Eastern European country that he was born and raised in.
Wow.
Crying over 9/11, even though he has attacked the World Trade Center before.
This dude is also named Dr. Motherfucking Doom. And he's crying over 9/11.
He's done worse things than 9/11.
He's done worse things than 9/11, absolutely.
Also, there's also something about Magneto using his powers to lift the wreckage of 9/11 is also equally cursed.
Yeah, what the fuck is not to be that guy, but Magneto's a Holocaust survivor. I feel like Magneto would have not reacted so severely to 9/11, maybe?
I don't think so either.
Didn't he lift Avengers Tower and drop it on Iron Man, probably killing not a 9/11's worth of people?
I would just like to point out that Doctor Doom in the Ultimate Comics universe, so it's not the mainline Marvel, got Magneto to commit a crime that was worse than 9/11 and got away with it.
Jesus Christ.
And not to say like it's comparable, because 9/11 is a real thing, but I feel like Doctor Doom wouldn't care about 9/11. Is that like a bold thing to say?
I don't think he would. I think the only person you can make a case for is Kingpin.
And that's just because he's a big
I will post the this is actually a good panel of Captain America and Spider-Man somberly looking over the wreckage and being sad. Dude, it's pretty. I feel like those are the two best superheroes to pick for that, because Spider-Man is the Marvel icon and Captain America
is America.
Captain America.
That's America's ass right there.
This is a national tragedy. You can't say that.
He's looking at the 9/11 memorial, and you're looking.
It's not even the memorial. It's like the wreckage.
His ass isn't even in the panel. I'm just saying a quote from the movie.
Yeah, it's
not
just
even
like,
in the movie.
It's just like a small 10-page little compilation of like all the Marvel villains and heroes like helping clean up Ground Zero, which is crazy.
That's a weird response to have to 9/11.
How did DC Comics respond to 9/11?
I don't know. Is there any 9/11 DC comics?
I don't think so. I feel like I would know about it.
9/11 episode.
It just happened. No, DC didn't make a statement about
9/11. Beware.
You know what? It was a big event.
Never have Lazy Bedhead on a podcast. She'll talk about 9/11 conspiracy.
Yeah, but also don't have me on the podcast because I will also bring up 9/11. I will find a way to tie Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn, to 9/11.
I was
never forget.
I was reminded about the Power Rangers connection to 9/11 at this moment.
What is it?
All right, so the season of Power Rangers that was airing at the time of 9/11 was Power Rangers Time Force, which in the intro of Power Rangers Time Force, the Time Force Megazord is standing on the Twin Towers, so that had to be removed, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then, in addition to removing this shot, they toned down a lot of the the building destruction. Like whenever they would do a Megazord battle, they would try to cut down a lot of the shots of like buildings being destroyed. And then there's an episode where the main villain Rancic is giving like a terrorist style like ultimatum rant on the news, and they just dub over it. I think they just like removed the dialogue and then like cut to like something else. And so the pre-9/11 cuts of Time Force are like lost media unless you have like the VHS, or if you watch like obviously the Sentai footage is unchanged. So if you like pick up like Time Ranger on DVD, you can watch like the unedited Sentai footage.
That's crazy.
But at least like if you want to watch the pre-9/11 cut of Time Force, it's lost media.
Okay,
you can't
if we keep talking about 9/11, I could probably go all night. I have so many stories of things changing because 9/11. I could actually probably go on all day.
Dude, you know what this kind of reminds me of?
If you say 9/11, I swear to God.
We honestly could just do it like a So You Want to Know How 9/11 Changed fandom.
Would it be insensitive to do a 9/11 episode on 9/11?
Maybe a little bit.
Tiny bit. Maybe a little bit. I was going to say, and this was going to hopefully change the subject.
So I can bring up Metal Gear Solid in 9/11 and the manga 20th Century Boys in 9/11.
All this reminds me of all this of us trying to figure out things that connect to 9/11. Everything connects to 9/11. Reminds me of a TikToker that I used to follow before I deleted TikTok forever. Fuck that TikTok. Nothing's fun on TikTok anymore. But it reminds me of a TikToker I used to watch where they would take any subject matter and try to relate it back to Five Nights at Freddy's somehow. I was like, bro, how the fuck do you make so many reaches that make so much sense?
That's so real.
And, like, he somehow connected Batman to Five Nights at Freddy's because I guess some sort of fan creator made, like, I don't know, like, made some comic about it or whatever, or, like, there was, like, a fucking reference to FNAF in a comic, and that's how they reconnected it. I'm like, dude, that's just a regular-ass fucking teddy bear, and I don't know if that's even close, but I just couldn't believe it, because I'm just like, dude, nobody should pay attention this much to small details and shit. Other than, I guess, me, because that's my fucking job on the internet, is paying attention to the small details of random bullshit I'm interested in. But, I mean, hopefully, like, coming into the next year, Lazy Bedhead Season 2, we'll be talking a lot more about, like, people of interest instead of, like, just fucking random
Do you think bullshit? There'll be more or less 9/11 in Season 2?
Hopefully less. Hopefully none.
Well, I just feel like the fans want to know. Like, you brought up 9/11 in the Wendigoon video. So, like, we have at least one confirmed 9/11 case.
No, you're right. No, not 9/11. I mean, I don't know. All my videos for Halloween are probably some of my most favorite ones, to be honest. Because Halloween's my favorite holiday, and I like talking about spooky stuff.
Oh, be grateful that Equinox Doodles is not on this episode to complain about Halloween after you said that.
Why? What's the problem?
He hates Halloween.
He despises it.
Does he also hate fun?
Yes,
debatably.
Believe it or not, he may even hate
only when it's related to Halloween.
Believe it or not, he may even hate 9/11.
I think hating 9/11 is good. I think 9/11 was bad. I just want that on record. I hate waiting in line at TSA. It doesn't even fucking work.
In case the FBI decides to call your dad again.
Me and the FBI guy are chill.
Your homies.
What was his name? Hold on, I got the voicemail. I can.
Wait, are you fucking serious?
Yes, I have the voice. Of course I do. His name was Dave. Me and Dave were chill. Like, he's a homie, friend of the podcast. Dude. Dave, the FBI agent.
Shout out to Dave. Good job, Dave, for keeping
Greg
Chudley.
Actually, no. I hope you retired and you're having a happy life, Dave.
I can transition us into a very different tone of the conversation. Still,
you should transition us into probably ending this episode.
Yeah.
Where can we find you?
Find me on YouTube at the Lazy Bedhead. I have an elf as an avatar. Give me money on Patreon so that I can feed my family.
So you can
feed
your wife.
Feed your wife.
You stay at home full time.
Yeah, so I can take care of my precious wife. Follow me on Twitter before Elon Musk decides to ban me because I believe in the word cisgender.
YouTube.
Go on my Instagram. I post things. It's all under the same name. So it's not hard.
YouTube.com/Lazy Bedhead, right?
Yes. Give me your views.
No, there's a space. Good to
There's
know.
no space, I don't think. Is there?
There is. How do you not? This is your YouTube channel. What do you mean is there?
In the URL.
Is there space?
Oh, not URL, but
okay,
like the YouTube name is Lazy Space Bedhead.
Yeah, okay. The space is there, but the @ doesn't have any spaces.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, cool.
Who ats people on YouTube? That's so weird.
In like comment sections when you're trying to like
shorts.
And in in shorts, and also like if you have collaborations with other YouTubers, you can @ them instead of having to add their channel name to it.
Some of our collabs with Sean on our channel have his like YouTube added.
Do you think I watch our YouTube? Come on.
I do. That's the only place I listen to the podcast.
Do you know about the YouTube Shorts industrial complex? If you want crazy growth on a YouTube channel, allegedly, just make shorts.
A bunch of shorts.
No, I can't make short. I fucking hate short form content now. It makes me
but you know what else it makes you? A fucking $1 million.
Rich and famous.
So
no, I refuse.
You make shorts out of your episodes that link into your episodes, so you get crazy subscribers from the short that then go into the full video.
But I hate that shit. It makes me mad.
Yeah, no, it makes me mad too. But if it made me $40,000, I'd probably be pretty happy about it.
Not to mention, there's a life hack where if you say to recommend your shorts to like not your subscribers, so there's like an option where it's like do you want to notify your subscribers that you have new shorts? If you hit no, it'll send your shorts to everybody who you aren't subscribed to.
Yeah, because if your subscribers don't click on the short and if it notifies them, then the YouTube algorithm goes, this ain't cooking. Not recommending it to anybody. But if it's just like out in the open and people just stumble across it naturally and then watch it, then you'll get boosted.
Dude, how do you guys know more about YouTube than me? I'm an
from
actual
a YouTube short.
YouTuber.
From the dude who started showing up in my YouTube shorts.
Yeah, that guy, and then also there's a 2.5 hour YouTube video by Ludwig Shorts editor about how to get good at making YouTube shorts, and I watched it because I was bored.
Dude, I don't have the fucking energy. I already have to edit 2-hour-long fucking video essay documentaries to post online. Do you think I have time for
you put it on in the background. Yeah, pretty much. I told you everything that matters of it.
Dude.
Trust me. Give it a shot for like a month.
Just clip your existing videos and make them into YouTube shorts.
I just need to get sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, you know what'll get you sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends? Crazy numbers.
Yeah, I know.
If you know, I have a YouTube short with 190,000 views because a 7-year-old had it looped 23 times.
Oh, I see. You guys want me to take advantage of children.
That's how you make money on YouTube. Exactly. Yes, unironically, that's how that works.
Sell out.
Where do you think our views come from?
We don't let children listen to this. Let's be clear.
No, you can't let kids listen to 9/11, the podcast episode.
9.1% of all of our views were underage. So.
Oh God.
Yeah,
mine is less than that. Mine's 2%. I tell kids to fuck off when I see them.
I do too, but then I get censored for saying a certain amount of words.
We're at 0.7% underage this week, so I think we're doing better.
That's good.
Yeah, that's probably because I told them to go eat ice cream.
And we're at 1% for the month, so there's like a handful of them.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
But yeah, thank you for coming on. I just want to say it was fun.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Come back on.
I hope you enjoyed being on the podcast.
No, I don't
want it to be like, oh, we're gonna exploit her for money. Like, I had fun. This was have fun, and I hope you had fun too.
No, I do too. I like podcasting. I do, ironically enough, like to be on podcasts. I've been on a couple, and I've made friends through podcasting a lot more than I do. I mean, I've made a lot of YouTube friends, but like through podcasting, I make a lot of friends because, you know, it's just easy to connect with people. And it's easy to hop on a thing and just talk for hours. And like, it's easier to do that than like start collaborating with a bunch of people for projects and shit like that. Because then I have to be like take initiative and be a go-getter.
Yeah, our friend Sean that I mentioned earlier, like we met him through the podcast, and I consider Sean to be a very, very close friend just because through the podcast we just realized we have a whole bunch in common, and we just like chat like every day. He's gonna be staying at my house next week.
Oh wow! Does he
week and a half?
Is he going up to see you, or do you guys just happen to live nearby?
No, he's flying down. I live in Florida.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
he's flying down. We're going to a con. Sergio and I plan on going to a con. And then I was like, I want more people to go. So I like shopped around
in state? Oh, in state?
Yeah, like in Florida.
Which one?
Holiday Matsuri Con, which is a big con, and we have a couple of panels there, so that's cool.
Dude, how do you guys do panels? I want to do... I look at you guys
really
do panels.
Really
find a convention and submit a request to do 7 panels, and then usually they just say, okay, and you get a free ticket.
You have to understand the way panels work at cons is not the way you think it do. People who don't do panels are like, oh my god, they're such special privileged people, whereas the cons are literally just begging people to do panels to give them free content.
It's just a Google form. It takes like 5 minutes. You fill it out.
We went to Colossal Con, Texas. Shout out. And we had like unironically like 13 panels there because we just submitted a bunch to see if what would get accepted, and then they just all got accepted.
Yeah,
there were so many of our panels on their like spreadsheet that we had our own color dedicated to our panels so they could figure out where we were at certain times.
Yeah, I recommend if you submit panels, assume you're doing all of them.
Oh my god.
That will prevent you from submitting like 13.
Yeah.
No, because like
we learned that lesson
the hard way.
No, I get that. It's more so like, how do you have the courage? Because like even me making a YouTube video and posting it on the internet makes me very anxious.
This is for me. This is a me thing specifically. So this is my explanation, and when I tell you what it is, you will go, yeah, that makes sense. If you would believe it, you might want to sit down for this. Was a theater kid.
Whoa. Man, I was going to assume band kid, but...
No, I was a choir kid,
really?
but I was a drama kid before I was a choir kid. I got in the choir because the choir director would egg me every time we did a musical. It's like, you should join choir. and then it worked after like 47 requests to join choir, and then I was in choir. And I'm the only person in the history of my school to letter in choir in less than 4 years, because I was in every choir my senior year, and I was like, can I letter? I'm in every choir. And she was like, no.
Wow.
And then after me asking her like 47 times, she was like, all right, fine.
The best way I can describe it is it's like giving a presentation, like it's like giving us a class presentation in school, but completely informal. You can just be yourself.
Yeah.
And honestly, I gave a presentation like a few weeks ago in class, and I was like, because like I was nervous, I was stressed, but I was like, wait, hold on a second, hold on. What if I just do this like I'm giving a panel? So I just.
Well, it's the same thing.
It really is.
Yeah, but like I unformalized and just presented like I was doing kaiju biology.
Did you get a good grade?
Yeah, I got a basically an A+ on it, like 99%.
Yippee!
But I was like,
I have a master's degree in a week.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't have it yet, but like I was like, all right. So in this study, as you can see, they created a contraption.
Contraption.
I love that word.
So they made a thingy.
But yeah, honestly, paneling, as long as you understand, people are there to like, because they're bored, pretty much. You can do pretty much anything you want on that stage, and they will probably enjoy it.
People are tired of
I could just go on a I could just go on a fucking panel stage and just sleep the whole time. People can watch me sleep.
Sergio went to a panel at the last convention he went to called 2B Eats an Entire Rotisserie Chicken. And
it got on the news.
Not only did it fill up the whole room, it was on local news.
What the fuck is going on?
You could definitely just sleep up there if you wanted to.
Yeah. Watch Lazy Bedhead from YouTube take a nap.
Yeah. Honestly, we had a joke about having a panel called, I don't know if you went to this panel that we did.
The Bad Ideas one?
I think, yeah. We did mention it there. Remember corn dogs and horn dogs?
Yes.
I'm convinced that we could just do that now because someone did 2B Eats an entire rotisserie chicken.
Dude,
if we get an air fryer, we could just do that panel.
Dude, if you took one of your bad idea panels and actually make it a panel, it'll become full circle.
I think the corn dogs and horn dogs was pre that panel.
I think I can make determining your favorite semen flavor Monster Fucker edition into a full panel.
I think if we emailed Jess and asked if we could do corn dogs and horn dogs, she would probably tell us yes at this point, right?
Probably. You guys are tight.
Like it's just a panel where we watch funny hentai and we make and eat corn dogs.
You know,
if we had an hour to set up beforehand to get the corn dogs ready.
Okay, hear me out, right? DoorDash and Porn Dash. Everybody puts money into a pool and we order Taco Bell. And then we eat Taco Bell and watch hentai.
Dude, this is the new Netflix and chill. It's except for we're putting it in a pool. Except for we're doing a panel and it's basically Netflix and chill.
Yeah, I think you could definitely do a panel. It's really easy.
Dude, I would see, because with my videos, because I do everything on an iPhone, I have to overcompensate. So I feel like if I were to do a panel, I would have to overcompensate for the fact that I'm unfunny.
That's fine. I do panels. You don't have to be funny to do a panel.
I know, but I would certainly like to be seen as a little entertaining. So I would have to bring props. I would have to bring a stage show.
Oh you can bring props. Like
you want to bring a full ass bed.
9/11 and you a Wendigoon story.
I dress up as Wendigoon. I show up to my panel.
You talk like you're like, hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the 9/11 conspiracy iceberg.
Dude, if I did that, I would be seen as the biggest fucking Wendigoon stalker. You don't understand.
That would be so funny, though.
That would be so funny.
When people do in-character panels at conventions, imagine doing an in-character Wendigoon panel.
But he's a real guy.
That's the part that makes it fucking
That's
crazy.
what makes it funny.
No.
Yes, I'm in character of this real person.
Yeah. I'm LARPing Wendigoon. You just get up there and you talk about your wife.
Does that make it a historical reenactment rather than an in-character panel?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh my god. Oh, that's great. Oh, has there ever been historical reenactment panels?
Sergio, write it down. Sergio, write it down.
Yeah, write that down. Write that down.
Yeah,
I will get my Victorian British like petticoat and top hat. We're gonna do 2 Victorian guys react to hentai. We'll just be like, oh, good heavens! This moving picture sure is strange.
Dude, that would be so fucking funny. That would be so funny. Oh, that reminds me of the fucking memes where people would name off stuff that would kill like a Victorian orphan, and it's like modern day shit that would kill.
Yeah, like Baja Blast, taco seasoning,
Any hot sauce.
The entirety of Neon Genesis Evangelion. This is a convoluted question, but have you ever watched the show Neon Genesis Evangelion?
They have. I have not.
I'm funny, okay? That was really funny.
I know, that's why I tweeted it, because I'm like, that's a really funny quote.
Okay, we're at an hour 36.
Didn't we end this podcast?
Yeah, and Matt just turned on his Switch.
How do you know that Matt turned on his Switch? Is it because your Switch is also on?
It's like it's laying on my bed, and I just heard it like blink.
Of course, a likely story. It's on your bed.
You're fucking cranking out Xenoblade Chronicles 3 right now.
We should do an impromptu panel about how to end a fucking podcast episode.
Sorry, I don't ever shut the fuck up.
No, none of us do. That's why this podcast is the way it is.
That's why we have an episode that's like 4 hours long.
You have an episode? What episode?
Yes, we do have an episode that's 4 hours and 30 minutes long. It's the second year anniversary special.
It was recorded in multiple takes.
Yes.
Jesus.
It's a bunch of little segments.
The longest one we've done in one take, I think, is 3 hours.
Sergio, that reminds me. Do we want to do an episode of like Sean's Ranch when we're at my house?
I was going to ask if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, we can hash it off the podcast. But for now, we're going to end this episode right here. Do we love the audience? Sydney, do you love your audience?
They give me everything I could have ever asked for. So, yes.
So, all right, we love you, Sydney's audience. But if you're our audience, fuck you! Boo!
I always forgot my drink. Jesus.
I always love our audience.
Unless you're Greg.
Unless you're Greg. We love you, Greg.
Stay away from that Everclear, Greg.
Yeah, this episode is for Greg pretty much at this point.
Yes.
Greg, if you are listening.
Thanks, Greg.
Stop being an alcoholic.
I'm gonna at Greg on Twitter right now. I'm gonna DM him.
You mean a real Greg?
We just recorded an episode for you.
That would be so fucking creepy. That'd be the equivalent to me messaging one of my Patreon supporters to be like, I'm gonna make this video just for you.
I love that there's a Venn diagram that's like Lazy Bedhead fans and So You Think You Can Fanon fans, and there's just one person in the middle.
Just Greg's right there.
It's like any of our friends that know both you and us and have listened to at least one of our episodes in one of your videos, and then Greg. Which is probably also one person.
I hope Greg is one person.
Did you announce that you were going to Colossal Con, or you just like...
No, I did. I posted it on Instagram. I posted it on Instagram when someone said, well, I hope to see you there. At the time, I was going through personal drama with another YouTuber, and I thought it was going to be one of his people showing up to fucking punch me in the face. Fortunately, it was not. It was Greg. So...
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Greg, for making me feel seen and protected.
Let's go.
By not beating me up and offer to buy me drinks that one time.
Let's go. All
Greg
right.
didn't offer to buy me drinks. Not a true Fanon fan.
He offered me Everclear, so that balances it out.
Is that's real?
Yeah, he was like, "You want some Everclear?" And I was like, "You're supposed to mix that." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "You are not supposed to drink Everclear straight. It's on the bottle."
Yeah, what the fuck?
Well,
what I have to ask what he was doing with Everclear in the first place.
Drinking it. What do you mean? It's an
He
anime
drank like
convention.
half of it and
what
then
kind of fucking question is that?
I don't know. If
He
you're
was
not supposed
like
to...
half comatose at the fucking bad panels idea panel.
That's true.
He was in the front audience and like halfway through he looked at me and he went, "I don't know what's going on right now."
And then he wandered off. My favorite thing is waking up the next morning with a DM from Greg and it just says, "I lived, bitch."
All right.
My god.
Let's call it here. I want to play Baldur's Gate, and I'm sure Kieran's waiting.
I want to play Baldur's Gate.
Well, Alex owns it, so you could literally play it with him.
There's split screen.
There is.
There is?
Do you have a controller?
I mean, yeah, for
you can plug
PC,
your controller into his PC, and then he can use keyboard and mouse, and you can play it together.
Oh my goodness. We should do that for live stream. That'd be really fun.
Do a Dark Urge playthrough where your character has dark thoughts. And
I think you need 2 controllers to play split screen in Baldur's Gate.
Do you have 2 PlayStation 4 controllers?
We have 2 PlayStation 4 controllers.
Then you're good.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right. Bye, everybody. Bye,
Goodbye.
Greg.